Hello students, today we will study the new economic policy of 1991. Under that we are going to discuss objectives, features and impacts. The small introduction of new economic policy NEP was launched in the year 1991 under the leadership of P.V. Narasimha Rao. This policy opened the door of Indian economy for global exposure for the first time. In this new economic policy, P.V. Narasimha Rao, government reduced the import duties, opened reserve sector for the private players, devalued the Indian currency to increase the export. This is also known as the LPG model of the growth. Former Prime Minister Manmohan Singh is considered to be the father of new economic policy of India. Manmohan Singh introduced the new economic policy on July 24, 1991. Elements of new economic policy. There are three elements of new economic policy: liberalization, privatization and globalization. Liberalization means removing all unnecessary control like permit license, protection duty quotas. In other words, it may define as losing of government regulation in a country to allow for private sector companies to operate business transactions with few control. Liberalization is also known as the freedom of producing units from direct or physical control imposed by the government. Liberalization of the economy was considered as a key component of NEP. Greater importance was to be placed on market forces rather than check and controls. Example of developing countries that had achieved rapid growth due to the liberalization. Economic reforms under liberalization, in which there are 5 liberalization: industrial sector reforms, financial sector reforms, fiscal reforms, foreign exchange reforms, trade and investment reforms. In this session, we are going to discuss industrial sector reforms and financial sector reforms. Industrial sector reforms include removation of industrial licensing, contraction of public sector, freedom to import capital goods, freedom for expansion and production to industries, de-reservation of production areas. Removing of industrial licensing. In July 1991, a new industrial policy was announced. It abolished the requirement of licensing except the following 5 industries: liquor, cigarette, defense equipment, industrial explosive and dangerous chemicals. Contraction of public sector. Under the new economic policy, number of industries reserved for public sector was reduced from 17 to 8 in 2010 and 11. The number of these industries was reduced merely to 2: atomic energy and railways. Freedom to import capital goods. Liberalization also implied freedom for industrialists to import capital goods with a view to upgrading their technology. Now, permission was no longer required from the government to enter into international agreements for the import of technology and plant and machineries. Next, fourth, that is freedom for expansion and production to industries. Earlier production capacities was linked with licensing. Now freedom from licensing implied freedom from capacity. What to produce, how much to produce, now a matter of producer choice depending on market condition. Fifth, de-reservation of production areas. Many production areas which earlier were reserved for small scale industries were de-reserved. Forces of market were allowed to determine allocation of resources rather than the directive policy of the government. Next, policy of liberalization, that is financial sector reforms. Financial sector includes banking and non-banking financial institution, stock exchange market and foreign exchange market. In India, financial sector is regulated and controlled by RBI. Liberalization implied a substantial shift in the role of the RBI from a regulator to facilitator of the financial sector. Earlier, RBI would itself fix interest rate structure for the commercial bank, but as a facilitator, now commercial banks are independent to determine the rate of interest. Liberalization has also allowed FII, foreign institutional investor, to invest in Indian financial markets. Financial sector in India has shown a multi-dimensional growth and is playing a significant role in the growth and development of the economy. Remaining reforms, fiscal reform and trade reforms, which we are going to discuss in the next session.